Obviously, one of us told the authorities.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
What about Chantal?
What?
I think it was April.
It wasn't April.
Great, then it was Elliott.
How could it be me? I brought it up.
Given that season 2 ended in late 2017 and that you guys filmed this not long after that, does this feel like a time capsule to watch season 3 again and revisit it?
There's just a new element to season 3 where you can feel them. There's something about it feeling like kind of a relic, it's like this like artifact of like kind of pre-collapse, you know, like millennial culture pre like American empire collapse. At the time it originally came out, it was obviously very much like both satirizing millennial culture, but also satirizing like the products of millennial culture. Privileged white millennials are the people who are like, they were right in that sweet spot of like, you know, kind of Obama era like prosperity, right. Or like, you know, seeming prosperity, and like kind of like living their dreams and like kind of being, you know, open to like whatever kind of profession takes hold in their heart, you know, however late in the game. And like and so there's something really funny I think about seeing us kind of so fresh-faced in the first season, like pre like Chantal stuff, like before getting all like tangled up in that, and then seeing them now like after like years of just being like battered by the, you know, circumstances of the story. It's funny watching me get crow's feet, I guess is all I'm saying. Like watching them kind of age out of a certain kind of privilege. They obviously have their white privilege, but before they had their youth privilege.
Right.
It's funny watching them kind of still try to like have their kind of white-knuckled grip on their like relevance. I think millennials seem even more ridiculous than they did before. Now that we have Gen Z people so like deftly like you know, picking us apart, and so I think it will always be, the show will always be funny because it's making these kind of millennials and these millennial archetypes, like it's like putting them through hell.
Dory, see?
Where?
Your lawyers.
I'm gonna close my eyes for a minute.
The show obviously has such a specific tone and I guess DNA, and yet we get all these folks like Louis Anderson, Michaela Watkins, like that show up and you're like, oh, I know this person, I know who they are, but they all fit so seamlessly into the world.
I mean, Louis Anderson is just a full-blown comedic genius, obviously, and also just such a sweetheart. I couldn't believe you assume that people at that like stage of their career are gonna be, I mean, he like literally does like shows in Vegas, like
right.
Sold out shows like in Vegas, like constantly, you know. So it's like he has like he's part of a whole other world. Like I don't think his fans are necessarily going to watch Search Party. But like, so I just expected him to be kind of maybe checked out, and like he was so invested and cared so much and watched the show and loved it and was so complimentary to us. It was very, very sweet. And Shalita is also just a total just like genius, like razor sharp clown. Like I really, really admire people who can be that like
yes,
you know, like facile. Like it's just like, it's shocking. It was so fun doing that trial scene with her.
I went back and watched those scenes multiple times because just the movement, the choices she makes and the way she moves. And
the sounds, the tics, yeah. But yeah, there is a very specific kind of like actor where it's like, oh, they work in Search Party. And that's such a testament to, and there's also a specific kind of like language that works in Search Party. And that's such a testament to Charles and SV. They have like really like mastered this kind of like quality of living in New York, of just like the kind of the strangers that you bumped into in bodegas, like, and on the subway, who are just like steamrolling ahead in their own kind of world. Because of that, it's made it really easy to cast like actors who like fit in that world so perfectly.
Dory's been arrested.
What?
For murder. And even though I barely had anything to do with it, there's a slim possibility that I might be arrested as well. The legal system is so messed up!
in this season, you know, eventually we learn that Elliott is really Eldad. Was that something that kind of only came about with this third season, or were you very much aware of this part of Elliott the whole time?
Never, no. That was brand new. That was a total, like, last-minute reveal on the writer's part. But I wasn't too worried about it because it just psychologically makes so much sense that someone who's, like, so full of shame, you know, and so desperately trying to project, like, wealth at all times, and success at all times would be, like, kind of maybe deeply ashamed of their southern backwoods roots, you know.
But then there's a scene where you do go visit them very briefly, and you do slip into it pretty well, I gotta say.
Well, I'm from Nashville.
Right.
You know, so there's an accent lurking with him.
We probably can't say a lot, but you guys have filmed season 4.
And we get to see Elliott more in this kind of like full Milo Yiannopoulos, like just like weird right-wing sellout, like radicalization thing. And it's like a dream of mine. I tweeted like a couple years ago, whenever like HBO wants to do a made for TV movie about Milo Yiannopoulos, like I formally like submit myself or something like that. And Charles and SV like immediately text me, they're like, we're writing you a Milo like storyline.
Drew's been arrested and we're next.
What?
I know a place far, far away from all of this.
Our own imaginations.
The Hamptons!
Stupid seatbelt's not working.
Look, our names are out there, the cops are after us, we gotta get going, so just deal with it!
Okay!